Welcome back to Worth the Effort Woodworking, as today we are celebrating a milestone. We are hitting 100,000 subscribers, and I'm doing that with a nice little tool giveaway. Now I understand I'm doing it probably a week or two early. We haven't quite hit that number yet, but most of y'all know I earn most of my income doing art markets, and a week before Thanksgiving all the way to New Year's is a total time nightmare for people in my situation, and I have something planned in January that's going to be 16-hour days, so that's a total time suck. So if I don't celebrate now, I probably won't be able to until February or March. And this tool set giveaway that I'm planning is going to be cool enough that I really do believe it will make somebody's holiday season. So if I can do a sweepstakes for the month of November, I can have it in the mail first week in December, and somebody will just get the surprise of the year. And you can enter to not win the sweepstakes. Yeah, you heard me right. I'll get more into that later. Now, passing 100,000 subscribers is a phenomenal feat if you did it in a year or two. We've been at it for 9. In fact, the first videos I ever published online were back when Mark Keven had broadcast.com. And I believe my first videos uploaded to YouTube around 2006, before Google bought them, and we did them as part of an experiment in the class that I was teaching. In fact, I actually had a lecture going along with that project where the class debated whether YouTube could survive, because back then the majority of the content out there was just flat out copyright infringement. It was ripped off pirated TV stuff, mainly because technology was so expensive to create content that nobody could really do it. My have times changed. I actually started this YouTube channel back in 2011 when I left teaching public high school. And speaking of quality hardware, those first 5 years I did it on, I think I paid $400 for the laptop when I left teaching. And does anybody remember those little flip cameras? Yeah, you look back at my early videos, I did everything on those. So 9 years and over 250 videos to reach 100,000 subscribers. Let's just call it more a feat of persistence and stubbornness, or, walking a marathon. But either way, we're getting there. So why am I giving away a set of tools to celebrate this? Well, if those of y'all follow me know that from the very get-go, this channel has been mainly about education. Most of the videos are not project-based videos. They're actually trying to teach you something that I actually do expect you to go out and do. And it just seems appropriate that if I'm giving this knowledge to new people to celebrate it, maybe I want to give the tools to use that knowledge to at least one new person out there. And that could be you not winning this giveaway. So what's going to be in it? Well, for starters, the very first toolbox I made. When I first started getting into the more fine aspect of this craft, I was living in a 400 square foot efficiency apartment down in League City, Texas. And I had actually gone up to a hardware dealer in Hyde Park and bought some of their scraps. So I had some thin stock mahogany, and I bought some standard size red oak out of the craft bin at one of the big box stores. And I made a very long open toolbox, and I did it with some of my very first dovetails on a box that actually sits in a groove, and I used some bridle joints from top and bottom along with pegs and a through mortise to construct the entire thing. The interior is some of those red oak panels on the red oak runners. And this end section is actually the same red oak stained with some black tea and a steel wool and vinegar mixture, where the iron from the steel wool dissolved in the vinegar, and it darkened, ebonized the red oak. So it's basically all red oak and mahogany. And the workbench I was working on was basically a solid core door on a frame that I built from those Simpson ties that you just screwed all together. And I built this right here so it was long enough to hold all my tools so that I could clear everything off the workbench, put this underneath, and put a curtain or something on top when guests came over, because it's kind of embarrassing that I have a workbench in the corner of an efficiency apartment. But that's how I did it for almost 3 years. And some of my very early videos, you can see were evolutions along that timeline. So what's going to be in this toolkit that you are not going to win? Well, you know, starting out, you're going to want to saw stuff. So how about I throw in a set of these very nice Lee Valley Veritas molded spine saws. One in crosscut, one in rip, the carcass saw style. That'll get you started. These are the two saws that pretty much build everything I have. But some people are a little bit more comfortable doing fine joinery with, you know, a jet saw. And that's something I've always said. So I'll include a jet saw. I think each one of these is right around $100 retail. And this is about 70 bucks. There's 3 saws that'll set you up for life for most of the joinery you will do in pretty much all of woodworking. Oh, well, how about we throw in a roughing saw with one of my handles on it. I'll put that in there too. Saws. You'll want to do curves. So good coping saw. This is an Olsen, and I really like these. I think they are what? Cugino or something like that. I got them from Lee Valley. These flush cutting saws. They're flush on both sides, which is kind of rare. Really like this. I'll throw one of those in there for you. Probably put a few blades in. Oh, layout tools. How about an angle finder, an angle gauge, and a mortising gauge, which you can use from everything. I don't really use a mortising side, but the layout tools there go on. Oh, speaking of layout tools, how about one of my dovetail markers? I sell these on my website, and some other things I sell on my website. How about a French square? And another thing. I started making these English squares a while back ago, and I carved my fancy ones, kind of like this one right now. But I have a video out there on how to make them, and this is the one I've been using in my videos for the past, I guess, 8 years, because I did that about a year ago. I'll put that in there too. You'll want a set of dividers. These are those Veritas quick moving ones, and a really nice spear point marking knife. I like these models. I also hate sanding, so I'll throw you in a good card scraper. Oh, hey, we're doing joinery, so you need chisels. I have a set of these Marples blue chips that I've already flattened the back and sharpened. They're pretty much ready to rock and roll. I'll include them plus a tool roll to put onto it. Hey, you need other stuff to go on that tool roll. A tool I really love. What are those worth? 50 bucks or something like that? You know, these are, I think, 40. You know, we're adding up the dollar value here. But you can't buy this anymore. How about a Buck Rogers style push drill? I use mine all the time for pre-drilling stuff. I'll throw one of those in there too. What else can we get? Oh, chisels. You need a means to sharpen stuff. I have a set of 3 water stones. I'll include a jig to help you get you started sharpening these very things. I also have a nice oxide wheel, a good quality one. So if you have a grinder in your shop, or if you just go down to the pawn shop, you can pick up one of those ones with the really coarse wheels and put this one on it. More. We need more. You are going to want to hold your work. I love this style clamp. You can use these as a moxon vise. I also include a nice bench vise. So if you have a solid core door like I did, that's the actual vise I used 15 years ago when I was working out of the apartment. Speaking of moxon vices, how about I throw in a used one just like the one I have on the end of my bench that I used in the school I had, plus a couple F-style clamps to hold it on your bench or table or picnic bench or whatever. Everybody needs some layout tools, so I'll throw in some rulers, a bunch of rulers, a level that I use for leveling tables. That way you can get them nice and flat. A cheap one works just fine. I used to use these in the school all the time before I made a bunch of these French squares. I squared them up with a mill file. They work just fine. And a tape measure. Ooh, I have something a lot of y'all are wanting. How about one of my custom Bodart carving mounts? I've been making hundreds of these this year. In fact, if you're wanting one, I only have 4 more blanks left. And it probably will be a while before I go harvest another Bodart tree. So if you're wanting a custom mallet, grab one quick. But I have one that had a few little tear outs in here. I put in my seconds file. I'll go ahead and include that in there. for all this chisel work, and since you're banging on stuff, you get some safety glasses too. And just for fun, how about an axe? So if you want to do a little spoon carving, there you go. You can at least start out doing that. So what do we have here? What, $400 in saws, $100 chisels, accessories, all these layout tools, sharpening setup, a moxon vise, and the piece de resistance, my first toolbox. So I had $1,000 worth of stuff as a giveaway for thanking y'all for 100,000 subscribers support. I think that'll work out. So how can you not win this? Well, here's the deal. If y'all have been watching my channel for a while, you pretty much have a lot of these tools already. And this is educational, beginner level content, and I really do want to bring more people into the craft and sponsor them. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I want you to make a comment down below. And in the comment, all I want you to say is, I know someone. That's it. No, I love you, Sean. I hate you, Sean. You smell, Sean. None of that stuff. Just, I know someone. And if you win, I'm going to ask you to give me that person's name. And who is that person? Maybe it's somebody just starting out in the craft that doesn't have a lot of this stuff, that getting this for the holiday seasons would pretty much set them up for life down the path of being a creative person. Maybe it's a niece or a nephew. Maybe it's a friend from the office that's interested in what you're doing and you just want to reach out or whatever. You're going to give me that person's name. They don't have to be a sub for you. Oh, FYI, you need to be subscribed to my channel to, not win this. It's a selection process whenever you do this YouTube thing. And any other comments is not going to get you registered, and only do that one time. But I'm going to ask you to give me that name if you don't win or win the selection, and I'm going to mail this to them. Once again, they don't have to know who I am, what I do, never seen my videos, never subscribed to me, not on Instagram, no nothing. Just a new woodworker we want to bring into the craft and help along a little bit. So, to not win, leave a comment down below saying, I know someone. And also be subscribed to my channel. Now, all this stuff is stuff out of my pocket. A lot of it is tools I had with my old school, so they're a little bit extras, which is, I don't have any planes right now because I've already given them all away. So maybe you can give them a hand plane along with this to just boost it up. But all this is from money I earned, videos, art markets, and stuff like that. Now, if anybody else wants to put in more stuff into this one, I will tell you what that stuff is on my Instagram channel, and maybe each day or maybe once a week I'll go over some of these things in here just to keep the interest alive in the giveaway. So, I know someone down below, as thank you for always remembering that it is worth the effort to learn, create stuff, and share it with others. Y'all be safe, have fun. Oh, and as a bonus, a lot of times I'll do a bonus at the end of my tips video, but for this, it's a special occasion here. If you have not seen Keven O'Connor's from This Old House, he has a new podcast out. He's got 2 episodes out. It's called Clearstory. I'll put as best a link down below as I can to it. A truly excellent listen. It's kind of a mix of hardcore history and woodworking and building and stuff like that. Once again, 2 episodes. I've been absolutely enthralled with it. Check it out. Keven O'Connor's Clearstory. Probably on a podcast server, wherever.